So DeMar DeRozan just signed with the Sacramento Kings yesterday, and honestly, I couldn't be more excited for them. First off, I'm wearing purple on purpose today because I do want to represent and be excited for the Sacramento Kings. Usually I'm a Warriors fan, and I always am a Warriors fan for life, but today, just today, I'm representing the Sacramento Kings. When was the last time that Sacramento got this big of a name to sign with them? And I understand DeMar DeRozan's not at his prime anymore, but he's still an all-star caliber player, and there's a lot to be excited for in Sacramento. And actually, Sacramento wasn't even rumored to get DeMar DeRozan until just this last week, honestly. The beginning of free agency, no one thought that he was going to sign with the Sacramento Kings, at least I didn't think so. But I think Mark Spears on ESPN called DeMar DeRozan going to the Kings as a dark horse team for DeMar DeRozan. And ever since then, this team had been picking up. And then yesterday, DeMar DeRozan signs with the Sacramento Kings. He walks in to Golden One Center literally less than an hour later and gets introduced to the Sacramento fans with Not Like Us playing in the background. I mean, it's just everything came together at the perfect time. And yes, even though I would be excited as a Sacramento Kings fan, now that you got DeMar DeRozan, what with the starting lineup of De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk probably, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and then Sabonis. I mean, that's a pretty solid starting five. And honestly, you guys aren't going to be the worst team in California anymore. That probably belongs to the Golden State Warriors. But even though you guys should be excited about that starting lineup, and the clutchness factor, first of all, is going to be off the roof, I'm not really so sure about the defense. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and it says that the Sacramento Kings had a defensive rating of 116 in the NBA last season, which was good enough for 24th in the league. So you're telling me that you were already a bad defensive team, and honestly, Harrison Barnes might have had something to do with that, and now he's gone off to the Spurs. We'll talk about how the Spurs and the Chicago Bulls, I think, actually did a really good job, especially the Spurs, because you weren't even supposed to be part of this trade. But now all of a sudden you got Harrison Barnes. Well, anyways, 24th in the league in defense, and now you're adding DeMar DeRozan, who's not really a good defender. I don't really know how to feel about that, but I guess you could make up for that on the offensive end, where you're going to be going up and down. You're going to be one of the fastest teams in the league, and the Kings are always known for that, but you're going to have to be winning games like 140 to 132, and I don't know how to feel about that. But at least from the watching perspective as a fan, it's really exciting for the Sacramento Kings to get DeMar DeRozan. I mean, I might even go to some games, maybe, who knows, but it would be really fun to watch De'Aaron Fox, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis. I mean, that's a really, really fun team, and I really can't wait to see how they play together. I feel like DeMar DeRozan fits on a lot of teams because he has that mid-range killer game. You have De'Aaron Fox spacing. Oh, we have to talk about spacing, by the way, because the spacing also is going to be a little icky because you have De'Aaron Fox, who, I mean, he has his up and down years. He's not the best shooter. Sabonis doesn't shoot. DeMar DeRozan doesn't shoot well from three. So basically your only shooter in that entire starting lineup, the only shooters are Keegan Murray and Malik Monk. And Keegan Murray is really the one that's like the best at it, and I think. I'm not really sure the exact difference between Keegan Murray and Malik Monk's shooting, but two shooters and the rest of them being kind of non-shooters / below average shooters is not really what you would want. Okay, and then there's also the thing about DeMar DeRozan's age. He's 34 years old, and you just locked him in for a 3-year contract, which I think is like around $20 million per year. Paying him at the age of 37 does not sound great to me as a neutral fan, because I feel like he's already regressing a little bit, just a slight bit, but a little bit. But to be paying him at 37 years old, to be paying anyone at 37 years old that much is a little bit concerning. But beyond the clutchness factor, I kind of hate being a Warriors fan right now because we're going to be playing the Sacramento Kings 4 times, and if you watch Warriors versus Kings games, you know that it always goes down to the wire. And when we had Klay Thompson, I feel like the Warriors always ended up hitting a game winner of some sort and winning, but now that they have De'Aaron Fox, who, by the way, won Clutch Player of the Year, I think the first year that it was inaugurated, like 2021-22 season, or 2022-23 season. Yeah, one of those. He won that Clutch Player of the Year award, and then now you have DeMar DeRozan, who's one of the most clutch players in the league, added to that, and also Malik Monk, by the way, is always clutch against the Warriors, Warrior killer. So, as a Warriors fan, I'm gonna hate playing the Kings, and I feel like every other team should be scared of them too, in the clutch especially. I mean, do you remember that season when DeMar DeRozan hit back-to-back game winners, especially from three? He's not even a good three-point shooter, but he just has that clutch gene, and he made those shots. I mean, that was ridiculous. That man is crazy clutch, and I'm gonna dread playing against him, honestly. And I know everyone complains about the whole, or they don't complain, but they make fun of DeMar DeRozan, and they say DeFrozen, but like, I feel like the man is really going to help the Sacramento Kings. I mean, just even upgrading from Harrison Barnes to DeMar DeRozan is crazy. I mean, the fact that the Sacramento Kings, usually you don't even give it away that much in a sign and trade. Like, you could probably give away like 2 second-round picks or something like that. No, they were willing to give away Harrison Barnes. They did not want his contract anymore. They're like, take it. We'll just have DeMar DeRozan, and we don't even want you on the team anymore. But then that also brings me to the San Antonio Spurs and the Chicago Bulls and their part in the trade. The fact that the San Antonio Spurs got Harrison Barnes and Chris Duarte for like literally nothing, like they weren't even part of this trade. It was between the Bulls and the Kings. And then all of a sudden they had this. The fact that they got that, the Spurs just swooped in. I think that they did an A+ job. They did an amazing job. Now, for the Bulls getting 2 second-round picks and cash back, that makes me think that they're going to try to offload the Zach LaVine contract with these 2 second-round picks, or they're just going to keep adding enough picks until a team is like, yeah, okay, we'll take the $40 million, $50 million Zach LaVine contract. But I think that the San Antonio Spurs and the Chicago Bulls did an amazing job for this. And actually, I would say that they did a better job than the Sacramento Kings. Even though I'm speaking so highly of DeMar DeRozan and the Sacramento Kings, I feel like the value that the Bulls and the Spurs got is crazy. I mean, also going back to the Spurs, they got Chris Duarte, who, while he didn't play well on the Kings, if you see him in Olympics right now, that man is going pretty, like, he's playing pretty well right now. Okay, and then finally, where do I think that the DeMar DeRozan sign and trade puts the Sacramento Kings in the Western Conference? Now remember, the Western Conference is so deep, it's so good, so honestly, this is not going to catapult them all of a sudden to championship contention, but I think that they're definitely going to be in contention for a playoff spot, for one of those 4, 5, 6 playoff spots, I think, because you're going to be behind OKC probably, Dallas, the Nuggets. You're going to be behind a lot of different teams, so I think that 4 through 6 range, but I think that gets you out of the play-in with DeMar DeRozan, especially because he's so clutch. I think that he's really going to come in handy and really good down the line when you're getting closer to the playoffs. So Sacramento Kings fans, congratulations, you're no longer going to be the worst team in California. You probably weren't the worst team in California, but now you're definitely not the worst team in California. But what do you guys think that the next trade is going to be? Comment down below. Also make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.